What's your favorite bourbon you've tasted?
He went to prison for 8 months. All this property right here used to be Clyde May's property.
So I am here with LC from Clyde May's. We're heading to the Rabbit Road, the house that he grew up in, here in the heart of Alabama in Troy. So why don't you get started on how you got started and what made you start this brand?
You know, Clyde May, my grandfather, the namesake of the brand, he was a moonshiner. He never sold a legal bottle in his entire life. He was just making it illegally and providing for his family in a rural area that doesn't have a whole lot of opportunity, or at least not as much back in that time. And he made moonshine from 1946 all the way until his death in 1990. About 10 years later, one of his sons, my uncle Kenny May, started the legal brand that we know today. So that's why we like to say available since 1946, legal since 2001. We're still, for all, intents and purposes, we're still a smaller brand, but we definitely hold our own, and we're excited to, show you guys Rabbit Road, which is the area where Clyde May originally made his whiskey when he was living, and also where some of his sons also made it illegally, including my own father.
And Clyde May's used to make whiskey, not moonshine.
Yeah, he made moonshine, so a majority of what he made was moonshine, but he was different from other moonshiners in the area because he would actually take the time to age his moonshine into whiskey. That was something other moonshiners did not do because, as you know, when a barrel is 53 gallons, so if you're aging a moonshine in a 53-gallon barrel and you're doing it illegally, you're sitting on 53 gallons of evidence.
Yeah.
So that was not something many moonshiners were, it was not a risk many moonshiners were willing to take. So when the product got launched legally, it was done so with his aged whiskey recipe, but Clyde also made a good bit of moonshine whiskey. So that was kind of his everyday sell, and if you were a good customer or a good friend or a special person, you were fortunate enough to get some of his aged whiskey. The only time between 1946 and 1990 that Clyde May was not making it illegally is when he went to prison for 8 months for making it illegally. He actually got arrested for whiskey making in 1972. He was sentenced to 2 years and got out after 8 months for good behavior, thankfully. And however, that did not really deter him because just as soon as he got home, he started planning his next still, where he was going to put his next moonshine still, and then he kept going from there.
And that's your grandfather, right?
That's correct. Yes, that's my grandfather. And then Clyde had 8 children. He had 4 sons and 4 daughters. All 4 of his sons, including my father, also made whiskey legally at some point in their life, and all 4 of them also at some point in their life got arrested for making whiskey legally. In fact, I can't promise it, but one of the properties we'll be going to today, in addition to Clyde's old property, is that of Clyde's oldest son, so my dad's oldest brother. His name is Charles, but he's always affectionately gone by the nickname Spooky. So he is my Uncle Spooky May, and we may see him today. And he's one of the sons that got arrested at some point in his life for making whiskey. Fortunately for Spooky, he was smart enough to give up the whiskey making venture once he got arrested that first time, and he went and pursued other careers and had a great amount of success, but he never forgot the art of making whiskey. He can still any of Clyde's sons are still able to make whiskey just like their daddy did back in the day. But I'm not sure. I was told yesterday that Spooky should be out here, so y'all might get a chance to meet him and maybe even hear a few stories from him. So we'll see.
Very cool.
one thing that might be interesting is you couldn't legally distill in the state of Alabama until what, LC, 2014?
2014. So when we started the brand legally in 2001, Kenny May, my uncle that I mentioned earlier, he started the process of trying to build a distillery in Alabama around 1999. And he spent 2 years battling the state of Alabama trying to build a distillery. At that time, distillation of spirits was illegal in Alabama. There were no distilleries in the state of Alabama at that time. Alabama finally came to their senses in 2014 and started allowing distilleries to be built. And now we're well on our way to, getting everything rocking and rolling at what will be the largest distillery in the state of Alabama. But when your legacy is that of a moonshiner and your roots are that of someone who literally went to prison for making whiskey illegally, things are not going to come easy. We've had to take the road less traveled in order to do this thing the right way, but the way we see it, there's no other way to do it, because after all, where I grew up, all the roads are bumpy and less traveled, so those are the only roads I know to take.
Very nice.
This is where I grew up. This is my home place. We're going to be spending the rest of the afternoon going through some rougher terrain, so we're going to ditch this Tahoe and hop in this Kawasaki Mule right here to be able to get from point A to point B a little better.
Sounds good.
Here we
go.
Off-road.
We're going off-road now. Like I said, we're going to park the rental car where it's nice and safe, but we will be going off-road a little bit. So this small brick house, that is Clyde's old home place. That is where Clyde lived. That is where one of his granddaughters lives there now, but that is where Clyde lived, right there in that house. So all this property right here used to be Clyde May's property. Everything you're seeing out here to the right. After he died, some of his children split up the property. My uncle owned some, my aunt owned some, and then me and my father, we owned the rest. So but at one point it was all Clyde's, but of course, since we're family, we all still, share it and enjoy it. But this pond was built sometime after Clyde had died, so Clyde did not have this pond when he was living, but it's a great fishing pond. You can see out there, that's going to be part of our setup where you see that truck and tent. Brian even went fancy and put a tent up. Look at Brian. There you go.
This is beautiful.
Yes, it is. This is a cabin that my Uncle Spooky built. It's a beautiful place. He put a lot of hard work and effort into it. I'm grateful he's letting us use it. He calls it the outfit. Just so for those that might not realize, a lot of moonshiners, when they would set up their moonshine still, they would refer to it as the outfit. So if you said, hey, where's your outfit? They meant, hey, where's your moonshine still set up? That was the phrase they would use. So we'll take you in the cabin and show you around here. Y'all can come right in here.
Our old the house we live in was built in 1790 as well, so it looks very similar to that.
Some of these moonshine jugs up here, some of them they called them Jimmy Johns, but these were original jugs that Clyde would use to fill a lot of his whiskey and moonshine in up there. So you come back here and there's kind of a mishmash of various things. Like Spooky built this right here, this light fixture. Spooky built that by himself. And
there's the Clyde Mays.
Yeah, that's one of the older bottles. Jay will remember that bottle. That's our Alabama style whiskey. That's what the label used to look like back in the day. Have this. This is what Clyde Mays looked like when it first got its start legally. Back in 2001, it was known as Clyde May's Conecuh Ridge Whiskies. Where it got its name is there is a Conecuh River that spans 8 counties here in southeast Alabama. The headwaters of that river are fed from creeks that flow through this property. So because of that, locals always refer to this area as the Conecuh Ridge, because the headwaters of the Conecuh River start here. So the original name of the brand was Clyde May's Conecuh Ridge Whiskey. This is actually the first batch of that. You can see where it says batch 1. Now we'll kind of get to some of the activity here. If you want to, you can shoot some guns. And then while some of us are doing that, the rest of us will hop on that mule that I was on. And then eventually we can switch, and who's ever riding with me can shoot guns, and whoever was shooting guns I can fit 5 on that mule, so I'm happy to take as many. I mean, really, we can, I can squeeze on. Yeah.
Can we ride and shoot guns at the same time?
We are all about safety here at Clyde Mays, you will see very quickly with Brian Chandler that he is all about safety. He's going to teach you how to properly hold, unload, everything with the gun. So to answer Jay's question, we will not be riding and shooting at the same time. But if that's something you fancy, then we'll do another visit off camera and see what we can figure out. So
We'll be like Doc Holliday.
yeah.
Did you meet your grandfather?
Unfortunately, I didn't. He died in 1990. I was born in 1995. I'm his namesake. He was Lewis Clyde May. I'm Lewis Clyde May. So I've spent the entirety of my life doing everything I can to
Celebrate
learn more about the man I never got to meet, which has made me quite obsessive. So Clyde May only got arrested one time for making whiskey legally, but there was a mutual respect between local law enforcement and moonshiners. Local law enforcement didn't see moonshiners as people who were doing any harm. They were making a good product. They were just trying to make a living for their family. So usually what a local law enforcement agent would do is they would just find your still and they would destroy it. And that was your punishment. But they wouldn't hide in the trees and try to capture you and arrest you. So there's no way to know an exact number, but a good guesstimation would be something like 24 or more moonshine stills get destroyed in his lifetime.
Wow.
So coming up here, we have the Brian Chandler and the Thomas McKenzie. Brian is our longest tenured employee at Clyde Mays Whiskey. He's been in the trenches with the brand for many, many years. He's going to be your guide and setup. Brian Chandler
Nice to
here.
meet you.
Yeah.
And then we got Thomas Earl McKenzie
Thomas
here.
Arnold.
Yeah.
Brian Chandler. Yeah.
Hey man, how you doing?
Nice to meet you.
How you doing, Thomas McKenzie?
Hey, Brian Chandler. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Mr. Baloo.
How you doing, David? Nice to meet you.
you.
How you doing, man? Nice to meet you.
That's right.
I like the cigar in your pocket.
Well, he gave it to me because he don't smoke them, but you want it, you won't smoke
That's
them.
it.
I
that's
gave you our distributor. He gave it to me Saturday night, and I was like,
I'm
I
gonna
don't
give it to
smoke them.
I'm good.
So for those that want to shoot, Brian is going to be your guide with that. You know, he's got earplugs and the guns and everything here. But yeah, so what I'll do is I'll unclip this because you can probably get some good footage of my man Brian explaining how to shoot a gun. I'm going to go get the mule and I'll be
Sounds
right
good.
back.
So when you see one of these are automatic shotguns. So when you see this open, that means it's unloaded. You always keep the barrel pointed away from everybody, the opposite way. Or if you're here, even unloaded or loaded, you're pointing it down to the ground when you're away from people. You wanna keep this barrel snug.
Yep.
Snug on your shoulder because it kicks, and your cheek's gonna rest on the butt of the gun. When I say pull, he's gonna throw the ski. Then I'll tell you to click it off safety. There's a safety here that's ready to fire. Pull.
Wow.
Come on, AJ.
Please, AJ, I love you. Don't shoot at me.
All right.
Please.
All right, ready, Thomas? Yeah. And he's gonna say pull, and you're gonna get it and line it up and shoot it. Cool. Ready?
Pull.
Pull, Thomas. Go ahead. I was close.
I was little early, I guess.
Yeah, a little early. Pull. Pull it. Pull again. He's on.
Pull.
Pull. Pull it, Thomas. All right.
Oh man. So we're going to the distillery now?
The old one, not the
New facility.
not the new facility. We'll be going there. This is where the OG stuff was made, the original, out here in the woods. We're about to experience our first little creek crossing here. So
Splash some water on AJ.
I might do it, not on purpose, but he might not have a choice here. Oh yeah, look at here.
Switch.
We got a deer antler right here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
A deer shed its antler right here. Oh yeah. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not making this up. I rode out here yesterday to make sure it wasn't too muddy back here, and I swear on my life that was not here yesterday. So that happened sometime last night or this morning. They shed that antler right there.
So he did not plant it here.
But I did not plant it here, and I haven't been back here this morning. I was with you guys at the hotel, so that's hand to God. So you already got to see where Clyde originally made it when he was doing it illegally. Now you get to see where we're going to be doing everything legally, paying our taxes and doing all that not so fun stuff, but we're going to do it because if there's anything, I'm going to carry on the tradition of making a great whiskey, but I'm going to break the family tradition of getting arrested. This property encompasses about 78 acres. It was an old horse farm that we then did some dirt work and turned it into this fine facility. This building that we're standing in the breezeway of is what we call the Big House, which is sort of a funny reference to Clyde's time in prison for making whiskey illegally. But what greets you here when you first walk up is one of Clyde's last surviving moonshine stills. So there are many things he did that were unique to him, and he took the time to age his moonshine into whiskey. He was very slow and intentional with his process. If you watch moonshiners or know anything about moonshining in popular culture, you often think of what's called a pot still. He designed this, and he called this the 240. So this piece right here is what would be the equivalent of what a pot would be. He called it a tank, but he eventually called it a 240 still, because in the late 1950s it took about $240 worth of copper just to build the tank. Today we call it a Clyde 240. He couldn't call it that because he was doing it illegally, so he couldn't add his name to anything he was doing illegally. He called it a 240, but we call it a Clyde 240. It's kind of the piece that greets you when you walk in the breezeway, and this is actually one of his last surviving stills that we were able to get because it once was in a museum. It was confiscated when he was still alive. It made its way in a museum in Bullitt County. The museum closed down, and now it sits here in Troy, Alabama at our distillery. This is kind of crudely put together right now, but just to prove to you that it was a real moonshine still. Take the cap and the pipe out, and which the camera's on that side, so you can see all the axe marks. If you walk around here, all the axe marks in the bottom of the still.
What were the axe marks?
So that was their way of disassembling it, making it to where it couldn't work anymore. Now,
The cops?
yeah, correct. So when they confiscated this still before they donated it to the museum, they hacked it up because in their mind this made it no longer usable. Now, if you ask my dad or any other moonshiner, they'll tell you they could have just fixed it and went right on about their way. But we're not going to let him use this one anymore. He's had his strike 3 already.
So what year do you think roughly this was made in?
This was sometime in the late 80s. You know, this was closer to the end. Clyde died in 1990, so this would have been one of his later stills in his life for sure. Whenever tours begin and everything, the tours will start out here. You'll learn the history of Clyde May the man. How he never sold a legal bottle in his life, but you'll also learn about his time fighting with the U.S. Army in World War II, about his family, his 8 children, and then the tour will begin and go this way towards the still house, so we'll head that way.
This was good. That must be heartbroken.
Well, you know, that was their punishment. You know, local law enforcement, the way they would really punish you is they'd find those stills and destroy them, and now you're in the hole however much money you had invested in that. So we'll take you in here to the actual still house. This is where the magic will happen.
Thank you.
So as you can see, I'm going to let Thomas go over everything, but you can see this is our continuous column still. We have a 24-inch continuous column still. It's a far cry and different setup than what Clyde had back in his day. But Thomas, I'm going to clip this to you
Put it on.
and let you take it from here.
So basically what we'll do, and we don't have a mill on site, but we'll have our grains ground in the corn mill at the farm that we're going to get them from. We'll bring the cornmeal and the rye mill and the malt flour into the back here, and there's a hopper back there. That's our cooker right there on the right. That's a hot water tank on the left. So what we'll do is just take my forklift, we'll lift the cornmeal up first, put it into the auger, and we'll put hot water in that cooker back there and bring it up to about 190 degrees. And we'll start the auger and put the cornmeal in to the hot water, and we'll boil that cornmeal for about an hour. Once we boil it, that brings the starch in the grain out into the water. So we'll make a slurry more or less. Then what we'll do, after we boil it, we'll drop the temperature in the cooker. So what we'll do is after that sets for about 15 minutes, we'll drop the temperature down to about 90 degrees and we'll add yeast to it. We'll pump it from the cooker over to these fermenters right here. We'll already have the yeast in it. The yeast will take it and we've already turned the starch into sugar, and we'll turn the sugar into, and these cooling coils right in here are real important because it'll keep the temperature down in the mash. And these coils here are designed to take the heat out of it. So it'll keep it about 85, 90 degrees roughly, depending on what we're making. It'll set 3 days, and in the morning we get ready to distill it. On the 4th day, we'll pump it over in here. This is the beer well. That keeps all the grain and the yeast and all stirred back up so that you can feed it to the column. So from here, it'll go down through a pump. There's a pump down in the bottom. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a pump on the bottom of this thing, and we'll get ready to pump it over to the column. So what we'll do, we make steam up on the hill for the cooking of the mash and for running the column. The steam will follow this pipe along this bottom here and go down into the bottom of that column. And that steam will follow up this column, come over, start running water first. And between these windows right here, it's hard to see in there right now. I don't know if you see it with your camera, but there's plates in there, about 3/8 of an inch thick, and got 3/8 inch holes in them. It's got about 45 or 50 on each tray. And there's also a pipe in there about 2 inches in diameter that beer will go. It's in between these 2 trays here. So what will happen is when we start the beer running, we'll come down through here, it'll hit the beer pump, come up, and it'll go to that first, you see that long lengthwise piece of copper up there?
Yeah.
All right. It'll go in there first. So your steam's already coming up through the column. The beer will come through, and that steam in there will start it to heating up. And as it heats up, it'll come down under this 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your wine trays up there. That's redistillation trays.
Yeah.
All right. The beer will come through there and come down onto the first tray. And it'll work its way across the tray. And as it does, the steam coming through the holes in the copper, it'll strip the alcohol, the water, and the flavor out of that beer, so that you'll get the true taste of the beer. It's the best way to distill. And as it goes over, and it'll come through that 2-inch pipe and come down onto the next tray. And you're steadily feeding it, and it'll come down and come down over here. It'll come to the 3rd, the 4th, 5th, and on down. It'll work. The beer will work its way all the way down the still until it's beer on every tray. As it goes to the bottom, the beer gets very low in alcohol content. It don't get to 0, but it gets pretty close to 0. And it'll come out and come over into this tank right here. That's a stillage tank. It's called stillage at that point, and that'll be where it's pumped up the hill where we feed cattle with it. So you got your beer going through, you got your steam coming through, and as that steam comes up through there, it grabs all the alcohol, and the alcohol continues on up to still, and it goes to those 4, those are called wine trays on the top. They got bubble caps in them, and that whiskey gets stronger and stronger as it goes through those 4 trays up there, and it comes over, comes through the heat exchanger, comes around, comes down over into this, I can't never tell which one it is. The low wines, it's low wine at that point. It'll be about 100 proof. And it'll go under the floor, come down and go into, this is your doubler pot right here. That's just a pot still. It's a continuous doubler. And it'll go down in there, and there's heat coals in the bottom of it. And as it falls down into there, it'll boil and distill again. It'll distill one more time right there. It's doubled then. Come back over, the proof's about 120, 125 or so. Come over to the far condenser, the one that's on the left, and it'll condense again back into liquid, and it'll come out right over here. Then we'll check the proof on it again, check your taste of it, make sure it's what we want done, and then it gets pumped up the hill to the barrel, where the barrel pump is, where we fill the barrels up. And then that's where the magic happens. But about 75% of your flavor of it comes from a charred oak barrel, and it goes into that wood and comes back out, and that turns it, those sugars are caramelized in that barrel. The caramel and the maple butterscotch aromas and all that kind of stuff that you got in the barrel. And that's pretty much it.
That's amazing.
All right, give it back to you.
Yeah, with a piece of equipment like this, you can't just put it up and build the building. You kind of have to build the building and then load it, because this had to be stored and protected.
And this is not used. It's a new window.
It's brand new, and we'll start using it here very soon, but it has not had its first run on it yet, but it will very soon. We'll head over here and y'all can see where we bottle everything. We've already started bottling. We started bottling about mid-October of last year. It'll be where we fill our barrels as well before they're sent off to our rick house to age. There you go. If Clyde were still living today, I'm pretty convinced that he would probably still be doing it illegally. You know, Clyde was... he let his product do the talking for him. He wasn't a very boastful man, and never, bragged on himself or anything, and rightfully so. That's a good, humble way to be. I think he'd be proud to know the impact we're having on the local economy, a lot of his family members, and also just carrying on his legacy of a quality product. We've now made it to the service house. This is our loading dock where we load in barrels, and these barrels are, made up of could be a variety of our different products. You can see where we bottled a couple 100 pallets of our original Alabama style, our 92 proof. We got some of our Conecuh Ridge back there. This was a very important piece of the puzzle for us, because we wanted to be able to start bottling and proofing everything with Alabama water. So this is our bottling line here. When it's running at full speed and full capacity, this machine here can bottle and box 17,500 bottles in 8 hours. When it's fully operational, you put your glass here, and the bottles get filled here, and the corks get put on there, and it wraps around, and you get labels put on. You get everything ends up here. This is where the cases are built, and the bottles get dropped into the case and then sent down that way. You can see where they've bottled. So these don't have the label on it yet, but where they've been actively bottling some product here in the area. The magic happens in the still house because that's where it's made, but there's plenty of magic that happens here because this is where everything has to get bottled. We have a great team here that gets everything ready to go and shipped out. So this is going to be the machine that actually fills the barrel. We will take a brand new American white oak charred barrel and roll it up underneath this, and that's where the distillate, it comes out clear. It looks like vodka or water. What gives it this nice appealing color like this charred brown color, is that charred oak barrels. But now let's go have some real fun and head up the hill and pick some barrels. Let's go do some. Let's go do some of that.
Hey, what's up, man?
TJ.
Good to finally see you. Y'all
have a good time this morning?
Oh yeah, it was amazing. So, TJ, have you been here before?
I have not. First time.
Oh wow.
Beautiful facility.
What's your favorite bourbon you've tasted?
My favorite bourbon I've tasted?
There has to be a distillery you're like, I remember this and I crave at night.
I mean, there's a lot of great bourbon out there. These days, like, I typically don't go after Kentucky bourbon. Like, I love a good William LaRue Weller, like, obviously. Michter's 10, I'll go back to that one pretty regular. Outside of that, I mean, the super rare, hard to find stuff, I never drink that stuff. And if I get a King of Kentucky, that's for sharing with folks, because is it fantastic? Yes, but am I ever gonna see another bottle? Who knows?
Yeah.
Not unless I pull some favors. So I'm usually drinking craft stuff, so, and I'll go through these little phases where I'm just stuck on a distillery. Right now, the bottle we're drinking the most at the house is Leaper's Fort.
Oh.
Like all that kind of raisin bran. It's just a really strong, interesting, distinctive note. So we're drinking a ton of that. Whiskey Tree out of 7-3 Distilling in Louisiana.
Oh, that's what this reminds me of. Looks similar to that, right? This setup,
The Whiskey Tree, or no, I mean 7-3 is, I mean they're in a little building there in New Orleans.
I'm thinking of Whiskey Acres then.
Yeah, it's a different place.
It looks similar to this place.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Remember, we're just gonna kind of get a feel for this, kind of get
Yeah.
started.
I'm done rating the number one.
378.
Do you wanna come and taste or?
I can taste some, I'm not tasting.
He's just like you. I tell him which ones are worth tasting and then he tastes them.
That's fine, I do that.
Second round.
Yeah, I just got, I got to drop that. Then I can ship food on it, so.
That's 379.
One eternity later.
I think 382 is better than 381.
Got some 383s coming.
It's just because there's no ethanol at all.
Right, there's a little bit more ethanol on the 381.
Yeah. TJ, what do you think?
What do I think? I think it's interesting. A lot of the Clyde May stuff is really bright, really sweet. These at 8 years are starting to get those darker sugars that I like so much. Starting to get a little better balanced. I mean, whiskey gets really good at 6. You start getting it at 7 and 8, starts getting exceptional. So, enjoying these so far.
381.
381. Well, I haven't found the swamp. I'm sure it was there at some point, but I haven't found the swamp. But we've got a few names we're playing with, we'll use for different limited releases and fun stuff. We may use some of the names of some of the distilleries in Alabama. And the problem is, like, Alabama started introducing prohibition in 1906, got it passed in 1907, then had it repealed in 1911 or 1912, then brought it back in 1915, a full 5 years. But basically 13, 14 years before national prohibition, they destroyed all the distilling in the state. So, but there's no records, and I just found this one IRS report that listed all the licensed distilleries in the country, has every one of them in it. And no other report, like the year before and the year after, they don't list them. They list production numbers, but not distillery names. Yeah, 01's good. It's following me. Look at it.
Expected.
TJ, what do you think of 80?
What do I think of which one?
80.
80?
Yeah, 380.
Oh, 380, okay. I mean, out of the ones I've had so far, they're extremely consistent. Like, nothing's wildly different on any of them. This one's okay. It's a little harsher to my palate. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad whiskey. It's just a little like it's just how it hits your palate. You know, it's not flavors, but yeah.
You remember all your rankings?
I've got them sorted here.
Oh, okay.
I got 2 no's.
Check 12.
I got 3 yeses,
12 is
and I got a whole bunch of okays. You know, like these are good. I would take these as single barrels. These 3 were the ones that were the most interesting. Those are the 2s that I would definitely not take if it were me picking.
So these are approved. These are
Yeah, these are fine.
These are
no's. Like only 2 no's.
Hope I don't pick
me.
the 8-1.
Which one was this one?
Oh,
Yeah, one.
We need one of these, so I'm safe.
Because
this guy's done
here's
this
the thing,
for way longer.
I'm not the end all be all of anything.
Oh, you've done it for way longer than I have, so you got to give yourself more credit.
Which one's that? 378?
Yeah.
378.
Yeah, me too. That was my second. Actually, that was my lowest. It was lower than no. SB2 was my lowest.
78
It only
was
gets better from here.
So apparently 15. 15 is the number of samples I need to go through before I have to cleanse my palate.
15. There you go. That's the magic number.
Yeah, we just learned that today.
Oh, that's huge. I think that could count as a whiskey library pick. I don't mind. Yeah, that's good.
Which one?
Number 6 from here.
6. Those are like all of those are good.
Actually, let's
You
see. Let's revisit these.
6 has a long finish.
He said 2 is good.
All of those are good. They're just not to this level.
Oh, this is the good one.
These are the best ones to me.
So I picked number
Those are the
3
ones
as
we
well.
like too.
2 I didn't.
That's
I
7.
picked number 7 as well,
and 9.
and I
12.
picked number 12 as well. Oh wow!
There we go.
Yeah.
So now you can be confident
there for me. I
in
don't
your answers.
Right? You know, 384. As I sit on it, the finish evolves, and it's a super long finish. I
No, it is. That's better than the other one
Yeah.
that we were comparing. So if you were picking one more, that would be it for sure. We are very much splitting hairs here, though.
Yeah.
A lot of great whiskey on the table.
Good now, boys.
Yeah.
I'll give it to Thomas. He'll. The other thing we get is the ones that have the 3s on them. We want you guys to sign the actual barrels because they're over there. So we want you guys to claim your barrels. These are just samples that we got from Indiana, but the barrels out there, the ones that you picked.
Oh, these are sitting in Indiana right now.
Yeah, so we'll bring it. The ones you chose, we'll bring them back. So the other ones can still stay maturing for a moment.
That's crazy because most people buy from brokers.
So the good thing is that we've got stock, but it's about
this is all-
It's about getting stock right there.
This is all there. So they don't source from MGP. They contract stills MGP.
Yeah.
So this is all their. The reason it's consistent is this is all their mash bill contract distilled
did
with
not
MGP.
know that.
Yeah. Modern NDPs are contract distilling because it's just dumb to distill. Like we're going to have $2 million in our facility the day it opens. And it's still more expensive for me to distill a barrel of whiskey than it is for me to just have MGP make it.
$1,000 10-year barrel.
Yeah, we won't even talk about aged whiskey, but like even a new make barrel, even a new make barrel is going to cost me $750 to $1,000 to distill.
Yeah.
Whereas MGP would make it for me for $500.
Yeah.
And so
it depends on how much you committed to.
if you depending on scale, and so it's smart to contract distill somewhere. The only way you actually can beat their prices is if you have economies of scale where they do something here.
Yeah.
We should all sign it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm just marking the ones. This is 86.
These are all Brewzle approved.
So we got.
Yes,
so here's the
absolutely.
marker.
The sticker
The
is.
sticker was.
Who's next? I guess do I do all of them?
No. Here you go, sir.
Oh, there we go.
Mr. Brewzle is gonna sign them. This barrel is signed by Brewzle. Is this your favorite one?
I don't know which one was.
Yeah.
86
It's,
was one of your faves, which is over here.
And then
12 and 7.
12 in the other one, I think.
Brewzle approved barrels.
Yes, absolutely. This one, 386.
386 is the most approved.
Well, you see it
Here, my mom always signs the barrels. Here we go.
Yeah.
She signed. Yeah.
I'm gonna have
Which
to put
one?
my signature on all of it.
Yeah.
You're gonna put your signature on it, right? The best one.
It's okay.
I want my signature on this thing. Yeah. You're the John Hancock.
I don't know who John Hancock is.
Who, on the Declaration of Independence, he had like the big fancy signature.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not.
Okay.
I just want to just know that for me, this is not just liquid in a barrel. This is my grandfather. This is his legacy. So for anyone who's going to take the time and make that effort to listen and hang out and do what y'all have done today, you've done more for me than I've done for you. So I can't thank you enough for all that.
Thank you, man. Great.
Look forward.
Thank you for having us.
We'll be seeing y'all again.
What do you think of our barrels?
Well, listen, one of my favorites you picked, so that was two of my favorites actually you picked. So you got more in the, definitely more in the weeds and I like what I like, so I knew right away. But two of them that I had were really, really good. But there's no wrong answer as long as you like one of them.
No splitting hairs here.
No splitting hairs. That's right.